what about your legacy? Because I remember watching you. I actually got to see you guys at the Showbox in Seattle, and it was a beautiful show, and everyone was having so much fun. And then I know that you do this a lot, but you talk about your mental health struggles. You're open about them, and I just remember, like, because you're such a figure of positivity, but being able to open up in such a public forum to lots and lots of people. That was
Yeah,
I felt empowered by it, man. Like, I was like, holy shit, this is, because you're so associated with fun, with people's
yeah,
youths, with making people smile, but then being
yeah,
open enough to do that. I thought that took real strength. So I know it's the same question, kind
yeah.
of,
No,
but like, what
no, I
about
get it.
what about your legacy as an artist and I guess as a person as well?
Mm. Yeah, I mean, well, mental health to me, that's the thing is I guess it's an ever evolving thing because
Mm,
mental health really wasn't even on my radar. I mean,
mm,
I have to be honest, until I experienced it, I had no idea what depression was. I thought depression just meant sad. I mean, I'm not ever sad, but I get depressed all the time. Um, they're not the same thing. They're not synonymous at all. Um, Now you can be depressed and sad, but just because you're depressed doesn't mean you're sad. You know what I mean? And just because you're sad doesn't mean you're depressed. So it's one of those things. But so I experienced all of that so late in life, into my 40s. And, so I was, this is a little long winded, but I was a little worried about starting to talk about it because I am the happy guy, because I'm the fart joke guy, because I am the dude that like is up there acting like nothing else matters in the world except for right now, and we're all gonna smile, we're in this together and all of that. But at the same time, once I start to have all of these experiences and these feelings, and then what little I did talk about it, just the impact and just the lights that would go on in people's minds and eyes and stuff. I quickly realized that like I sort of have a responsibility that it needs to be out there, that just because I'm probably the happiest person you're ever going to meet, and I do stand by that, uh, you know, it can get you, and it got me, and it gets
mm,
me. I
mm,
literally just picked up my medication. I'm in
mm,
my van right now. Just picked up my medication that if I don't take it for a few days, like
mm,
I don't really know if I'll be able to function
mm,
um, at the level that I, need to be able to do what I do for a living. So
mm,
yeah, I hope that mental health is part of my legacy. I hope that I'm known as a nice guy. I hope that I go down as being that someone remembers in a positive way, and I hope that I'm remembered as a good father,
mm,
and a good friend,
mm,
and I'm working hard to make sure that those things are the thing. But I think one of the coolest things that one of my therapists told me one day, he was like, you have immortality, and I'm just like, what? He goes, you're literally going to live forever, and I'm like, I don't understand. It's like
mm.
your music is there, it's there forever. And he goes, you have one of those songs in 1985, and in some countries 3 or 4 songs
Yes.
that people 20 years after I'm gone will still be listening to. It'll be like a Beatles song or whatever. I'm not comparing myself to the Beatles at all. I'm just saying it'll be, those songs, You're All the Bad Guys Want, will still be getting played long after I'm gone. And that's pretty cool to be able to think about. So, yeah, obviously, I hope that music is part of my legacy as well.